Okay, so step 3 is all about pinpointing your audience. So identifying your target audience and who you're talking to. Is it your peers? Is it clients? Is it stakeholders? So obviously, a massive part of building your personal brand is knowing who you're talking to. So you really want to build relationships with people who are going to benefit from your content and provide value to your community. So this is how you grow an authentic following. Now, there's 3 questions that I think anyone should ask themselves. Number 1, who are you speaking to? Number 2, who do you want to help? And then number 3 is who do you want to influence? Now, this is going to look, it's probably going to look wildly different for everybody. So dependent on why you're developing your personal brand, and what professional industry that you're in. So the audience of a professional or an executive who's an employee, which could look like LinkedIn, peers in your industry, potential customers and recruiters, if you're looking to move jobs, your audience is going to look different to that of potentially a freelancer. So theirs might be previous clients, future potential clients. They're active on Instagram, potentially LinkedIn as well, and then also their peers of other freelancers. So there's 5 further steps which are going to help you clarify your audience. So number 1 is define your brand. Now, all of the work that we did in the previous steps on clarifying your offer and figuring out your unique mix should also help you to narrow down your audience and who it is that you want to speak to. Step 2 is research your audience. Now, don't miss this step. You don't want to be just putting out content which is all about you. You've got to be thinking about your audience and who you're speaking to, understand their needs, their wants, their problems, their goals, their struggles, their challenges. It's kind of like the same step that you did for yourself, but for your audience. And quite often you'll find there's crossover. So you can also do it the other way, where, well, as well as where you consider demographics. So how old are they? What gender are they? What locations are they in? What's their interests? What's their values? So really spend time to research your audience. Number 3 is look at existing data that you have. So look for patterns in the past. So who do you seem to naturally attract? What relationships have you already developed? What patterns do you have from recent clients or work that you've done or roles that you've had in the past? Where do you see kind of the best fit? And then also kind of think about within that, you've got all of the data from what you've done in the past and what you're doing at the moment. Where do you want to be? Does that align with your future goals and the person you want to be and what you're trying to build? Number 4, now this one's it's not an essential, but I do find it helps for some people. It depends on how creative or analytical you are, but create audience personas. So some people like to use the information that they've gathered to create an audience persona. So uh, let's think of one here. My ideal client is Susan. She's 34. She's a stay-at-home mum. She's trying to start a side hustle, and I need to speak to her about the challenges that she has as a working mum. That kind of a thing. Number 5 is be open to change. So don't be afraid to adapt your target audience as your brand evolves. Personal branding is a very, very fluid process. It's your change, again, I've said it before, change is the only constant in life. You're not going to change, you're not going to stay the same. Your audience is not going to stay the same. So be open to it changing. And just because you might do these exercises now and it looks like one certain thing, doesn't mean that in the future it's not going to change, or if you pivot with what you're doing or your strategy changes a little bit, your audience might change as well. So don't think that it has to be completely set in stone. Now, if we talk about developing a strategy for influence, some of the questions we're going to ask ourselves when we're creating our content, it's driven by empathy with your audience. So what problems are you solving for your audience? What challenges do they have? How are you connecting to what motivates them? and how can you help them with what they want or need? So, people are looking for solutions to their problems and actionable steps on how to make it happen. So, share your processes, your knowledge, your areas of expertise in a tangible way, and always aim to provide value to your network. So, what can you offer that's unique to you? So, it could be your industry knowledge, it could be your experiences and your learnings from them, or your viewpoint on industry events. And don't be afraid to give things away for free. I am really, really often asked where we should draw the line between free information and getting paid for it, especially for industries such as like coaching services or where advice is offered. And my advice is always over deliver on free. That's how you demonstrate your credibility and your knowledge in an area. And again, how you build trust with your audience, which ultimately will make them want to work with you or buy from you. So you can often get customers or clients because of what they've consumed from you for free. My final point is don't be afraid to be vulnerable with your audience. That is how you become relatable. That's how you build trust, and that's what ultimately makes people want to buy from you.